welcome back to my channel. So today I've got something that I'm pretty excited about. Since I've got this motorcycle lift, it's really revolutionized the way that I've been able to put bikes together, particularly once they become a roller, because I can very easily wheel it on using the front chock, lock it up, and do work on it, pull it off, and put a different bike on really quickly. So really happy with that, and I'm a big fan of tools in general. But one challenge that I've had is that for new builds, like the two that I've just started, when it's not yet a roller, it's always awkward with the frame and the motor, and then also a challenge on how I store them when I'm pulling other bikes onto the lift. So today I have from Trail Buddy their motor stand that also then I can put the frame onto the motor. And I think it's going to be exactly what I need for these builds so that I can build up the whole bike before it's a roller, and then once it's a roller, transition it to the regular front chock that I have on the lift. But that in the meantime, I could actually put this work stand onto the lift, work on it, and then pull it off to pull on a different bike. So I thought I would do an unboxing, assemble the stand, get the Daytona 190 onto that stand, and then mount the frame onto that so that I can start doing some work on that project. So invoice, and this is the product. So this is the TV230A. It says first level of Trail Buddy stand kits. So this kit should come with the platform and also the mount to connect the engine. They also have different accessories if you want just the frame without the motor, if you have a lot of framework to do first. But since my motor is ready to go, it made the most sense to me to be able to mount up the motor and then the frame to the motor so that I can work on all of that at once. The powder-coated red of the stand basically matches the motorcycle lift. Looks like these are the instructions. This is the mount for the engine that can adjust up and down inside the stand. Looks like these are the rubber foot pegs for the base of the stand and the hardware. I assume this is what the engine mount rides inside of. And then this should be the other rig. And this one has a really nice, probably plasma cut Trail Buddy logo on it. Alright, so let's get this assembled. Okay, so I've got the two halves here. It looks like the half that has the Trail Buddy logo on it is slightly wider than the other side, so when they come together, the one with the logo is on the outside and the other on the inside. So there's 5 bolts to hold this together. The smaller bolts come on the outside here, on this and this side, and then there's 3 bolts that come across the outside. 2 that hold this piece in place, and a third one that's just additional bracing. Also per the directions, there's a washer that goes both on the bolt side and the nut side for all the bolts. So let me just get these started. I believe these are 13 millimeters, both bolt and nut, for almost all this hardware. And I believe this spacer is just to go in between the frame here for the one bolt that doesn't ride through this mount. All right, and I think that's it. Then this last bolt is for putting tension onto this mounting piece. So let me go ahead and tighten all of these bolts down now. There's just not enough room for me to get a tool in there, huh? Let me see what I have that I can hold this inside lock nut with. Okay, so that was pretty simple to put together, and the quality of this product looks really good. They mentioned on their website that this is actually all manufactured here in the United States. So let me get the Daytona 190 engine mounted on here first, and then I'll get the frame mounted to the engine, and that'll give me the platform that I need to start working on my new CT project. I'm not sure if this is a 1 or 2 person job. I figure I'll give it a shot myself first, and if I can't do it, I'll get a helper. All right, so that looks good and seems very sturdy. It's definitely not going to tip over. So now let me see if I can get the frame onto the engine. Okay, I was getting ready to throw the frame on the bike, but there's a couple things I realized I needed to do first. One was where the mounts connect to the engine. I needed to file those down so that I got all the powder coating off, so that I have a good grounding on all of the contact points. Also, with the powder coat on there, it makes it a little too thick to fit properly on the engine, so it serves 2 purposes, making sure that you clean that up. And at the same time, since it's hard to do once the frame is on the motor, I installed the coil here. Down here I grinded away the powder coat so that I could have good contact for the coil itself. But it's in a pretty weird placement, and once the engine's on, it's really difficult to reach the nut on the other side. So I've always found it much easier to get that assembled before I put the frame onto the motor. Since I won't be using the stock air filter, I can use regular bolts to hold the engine and not that specialty Honda one that has kind of a nut on one side and then a little more threading. These are actually from Ace Hardware. They're about $3 each and they're stainless steel. The one that goes on the top is 120 millimeters. The one that goes on the lower portion, I actually also buy 120 millimeter because that's the only size they sell that's long enough. But I cut it down and polish it up to be about 115 millimeters. So let me just get these on and bolt it down, and then this should be finished. All right, so I did a little bit of cleaning in the garage, and as you can see, I can actually now keep 2 CT projects on this motorcycle lift at once. But really happy with this Trail Buddy stand. I think it's gonna be very useful as I put together this new CT project. I'll put a link in the description also to it if you're interested in picking one up. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and keep on building.